On a rainy day in September of 2019, I went to my first turf day at Iowa State University. Now, Ames is right up the road from here, and Iowa State has a fantastic turf program. So I spent my day looking at a bunch of the plots out there and all the research being done on this beautiful property in rural Iowa. So I met a bunch of people there that day, and over the winter I had an idea. What if I could make a series that shows the behind the scenes of what these turf professionals do on a field like the one that's home of the Cyclones? So I made a few emails and a few contacts, so we were all set to go to start filming in the spring of 2020, but as you know, life changed for all of us. But because of that initial turf day and also all of the wonderful people that I've met through this YouTube channel, I was able to do something last week that was a dream come true for me. So got a very special, exciting day coming up today, which I'm slightly late for, so let's get going. I'm sure the walls of any stadium could tell you so many stories about what's happened there throughout the years. But on a day like today, there was no crowd noise, just the sound of paint sprayers. So today I'm out here kind of hanging out with these turf guys, and you know, one of the coolest things that I've been able to do once I started this YouTube channel is just meet so many different people, and it's kind of given me these kind of opportunities today, like I'm out here on this field checking this whole thing out, seeing what they're doing. It's something that I've always dreamed about doing, and had I known I loved turf as much as I did, I probably would have went to school for it, but I didn't do that. So now I'm just here though, observing and learning and seeing what these guys do. It's pretty amazing what they have to do every week in order to get these fields ready. So today they're painting pretty much everything in. There hasn't been a game for a couple weeks here, so they have to go over and paint everything again, make sure everything looks good. So the field is Kentucky Bluegrass. It's on sand, so this is a sand-based field, and they're mowing it at 1.25 inches. So it's slightly taller than what I have going on at home, but it looks really, really nice. They've already had one game on here, and the recovery has been quite amazing. So I'd really like to catch what they do sort of after the games and in between here. We'll see if I can get that done. But at least for today, I'm just really thankful I got to come out here and check out kind of what they do. So how much paint do you guys go through?
Like what, 24 buckets typically? 24 buckets, 5 gallons a piece.
That is a lot of paint to put onto this field for sure. So you can see here on the middle of the field that surprisingly, even after a game, you don't really see much for damage at all. It's really recovered well. And they were telling me that they put down usually some seed ahead of a game.
We got fert on it yesterday.
Yeah?
So it'll help green it up a little bit by tomorrow.
Do you guys do any overseeding after games, or pretty much just let it be?
We actually overseeded yesterday. That way, we usually try to do it about a week ahead. That way it germinates after the game. Mm-hmm. And it'll help the players with their cleats, will help get it in the ground.
What are you overseeding then?
Blue.
Blue. So that it kind of gets worked in by the players, and then it actually will germinate, you know, the week after and kind of fill in any spots that they have. But for the most part, it's really about managing this turf before it gets to the season. And then, you know, it does pretty well on handling all of that stuff as far as the traffic goes. But I'm really thoroughly impressed to see this in person and to see how full it is even after a game, it looks amazing. So how do you measure all that out as far as like where those go?
Where they go? So they have tassels in here, and we'll get them GPS. There's a company that'll come out, they got a GPS, and they'll stick it right there. So we got tassels in the ground on every yard line and every corner.
Gotcha.
And so, but the problem is we do that and then we aerate, and it sticks them in the ground. We got to dig them up or find them. So we actually had them come back this year and do it again.
Okay. So these guys were telling me here that this little marker right here is put in the ground by GPS. So then they know exactly where to put a nail on this side and stretch a string all the way across to the other side, and then they can make all their straight lines from that. So that's kind of how they do it as far as like the hash marks go. Got a little marker here and then stretch all the way across. See, so not only do you have to grow grass here, but you got to be an artist too. So that art class that you took when you were a kid that you didn't think mattered, maybe it does matter. These guys take immense pride in their work and spend hours and hours making sure that every little detail is perfected before the crowd gets there. And their dedication to their craft and the hours that they put in is what I would like to showcase with this content going forward. It's really something special, and I could sense the amount of pride that they all had in the work that they get to do every day. So Iowa State had a huge win against Oklahoma this week, but when the fans left the stadium and the seats were all empty, the crew's gonna get right back to work to prepare for next week. So thank you to all the turf crew again there at Iowa State for welcoming me, and I hope to be able to feature some more of this content in the future. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.
Do you burn in patterns, or do you just kind of?
Sometimes, a little bit.
Oh.
Coming together.
Your left foot.
Yes, it is.
Here, just go ahead and wipe it off in that 3-foot border.
Yep. Well, I successfully tracked paint on the field that I wasn't supposed to do, so they haven't kicked me out yet, but they probably will.
9 feet. Are we just guessing if that's on center?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. All right. I'm
No,
just making sure we're on the same page.
We'll measure from.
We'll measure from side to side.
From the hash.
But you can also see where it was.
You like it?
We haven't done width-wise yet. So here, just go all the way across to the...
I think it's 40 feet, so it should be at 20.
Is that right at 40? I mean, I'm kind of guessing what's in the middle.
You're good.
Yeah.
It's not going to be on TV or anything.
No, it won't be sky cam. If there was one piece of synthetic in our field, I wish it was that, so that we could not forget about it.
Got the painter on?
Nope.
Don't need it.
Done.
It's something fine textured bluegrass of some sort.
Kind of honestly looks more like rye, actually, but...
Yeah, we don't have any rye out here. It's crazy. Like, it came in about 6 or 7 years ago, and they've just slowly gotten bigger.
Mm-hmm.
But like, even after like the Iowa game last year, like all this was wore out, and like this looked fine. It was so crazy.
I have a few spots this year too that I saw that were kind of like that were, you know, the rest of my yard. In one section I just let it completely go dormant, and there were a couple of spots, because that's bluegrass too. Of course the fescue that was out there was doing fine, but like the bluegrass, there was just a couple little patches of it that weren't dormant at all, and I was like, what is going on with...
Yeah, like I don't know what cultivar we put down like 8 or 9 years ago that ended up being and just establishing or what, but like it's just, I don't know, it's just weird.
Because some of this, it's much more of like that wider blade.
Yeah, normal.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there are some spots where you even get like a wider blade than you know, like some of them are even wider, and they're all just different, which is why you have,
Yep.
well, hell, by now, this is what, year 13 for this field. We probably got 25 different cultivars out here, so
Yeah.
you never know. But yeah, like these are the 2 spots every year that I can go to and find these grasses that just like look perfect. They don't ever cleat. It's just so weird.
You're okay.
All right.
Unless you don't want to be on YouTube, but
Oh,